What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 23rd day of September, and here we are, up about 1.4% on the day. Yesterday, we moved up a good 10.6% on the day, and the reason why was we had major institutional partnerships coming tomorrow. Stay tuned. 21 hours ago, they mentioned that. Let's actually look at 21 hours ago here. All right, we go back 21 hours ago to a T. Started pumping because of the good news night, right? Buy the hype, sell the news. Even if you bought the hour after this, you probably still would have done well for yourself. Now, when did the good news come out? When was it that this good news came out? It was here, 2 hours ago. Deutsche Bank AllUnity selects Zebec as its preferred payroll partner, making Zebec the go-to provider of real-time stablecoin payroll for its private and enterprise clients. That's a pretty big deal. Let's be real here, guys. That's pretty cool. Deutsche Bank's not a small bank. That's pretty cool. But it doesn't seem as though people received that too well. 2 hours ago was right here. That's when we started to move down. Clearly, we topped off before then, right? But this might have been the insiders like, okay, man, this thing's gone up enough. We're going to release this information soon enough. It's a big deal. It just might not be this life-changing kind of announcement that people were expecting it to be. I'm sure before today, a lot of you probably didn't even know what Deutsche Bank was. Hold on. But yeah, it's a big deal. It's a pretty big deal. And the thing is, let's see, Euro, I don't know, EURAU, a MiCA compliant euro, so it's whatever, denominated stablecoin will be integrated across Zebec's payroll platform and Zebec card suit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Whoa. Almost died there. Powering everything from instant wages to global spend. This move marks Zebec's growth from a U.S. leader in stablecoin payroll to expanding presence in Europe and beyond. Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a pretty big deal. But I don't think that the price action is going to respond appropriately to it, right? Maybe in the long term, just in the near term, we're going to sell the news. You buy the hype, you sell the news. So anybody watching this, if I can make this video quick enough, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're looking to make a play, I bet if you sold and you bought back by the end of today, the 23rd, let alone tomorrow or the next day, you're probably going to have a solid opportunity for some lower prices, because I doubt on this kind of life-changing, mind-altering event here, they're only going to drop 9%. I would think that you drop more. I wouldn't be surprised in the least at all if most of this move was given back. You maybe form a higher low, maybe form a lower low. Anything and everything in between can happen. Let's look at the short-term stuff. Let's look at these indicators, and then we'll zoom back out and see what's what. Again, overall, going forward, this is a positive impact on Zebec, on the ecosystem. This will provide value to the ecosystem and to the coin itself. It'll boost your bags here in time. But right now, that was the boost. Now it comes for the decline. Okay, if we're looking at this on the 1 hour, the RSI has been overbought. We've kind of petered out, and now we're coming down. We're at an area where we might find support here at the 50, so even if we move up by the end of this video, if by the time you're watching this, we're moving up a little bit, don't get too excited. I would assume that we're still moving lower. The stochastics would suggest we go lower. The MACD just crossing red here would also suggest that we go lower. If we're looking at the 4-hour time frame here, and actually measuring from a low here to a high there, we're almost at the 382. Being this close, I would think it's undeniable at this point that we would at least go to the 382, but likely we go lower, down to 004, right? 204, 20395, somewhere in that area. Stochastics rejecting the overbought zone, crossing down. RSI rejecting the overbought zone, crossing down. I should say turning down. It's not crossing anything. And the MACD is petering out a little bit, but all in all, I don't know if this is enough to condemn us to lower prices than what we saw yesterday, but it's certainly enough to condemn us to lower prices than where we are now today. Okay, that makes sense to me. I doubt that with this news coming out 2 hours ago, I doubt that this is it. I would expect that maybe today continues to go down, and maybe even into tomorrow things continue to go down. Bitcoin itself is going to go lower, I expect, and some other altcoins as well will go down. Zebec, because of its pump, I think is absolved of going down to that 0033 area or lower, the areas that we were talking about before. But this good news, this pump saved it from that, right? I want you to understand that this is one of those few times where fundamentals, I shouldn't say one of the few times, it's just one of those moments where fundamentals outweigh the technicals, right? The technicals suggested we'd go lower, but then you had this huge institutional announcement, massive pump in anticipation for that. Now because of that, you're up here with the drop that you were going to have anyways, but from up here, you're probably not going to go to that 0033 area. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe the drop's just that much more extreme because of it. But at this point in time, I would think that we find a higher low, personally. So good for the Zebecians. Shout out to the Zebecians. Zebecening has begun. Condolences to anybody that sold the low, because there are people. You see the wicks down there. You see how there's price action down there. Some people definitely did sell the low. Unfortunately, we look at the daily RSI. That's why it's important too. Anytime we talk about the price going lower, there's a difference between saying I think the price is going down and I think it's a good time to sell. There's a difference between those two phrases, right? Going down, I think it's going to go down, is not the same as it's a good time to sell, right? If we thought the price was going to go down here, which I don't think we did. I'm pretty sure we thought that it would bounce right here. Even if we thought the price was going to go down lower, you don't sell the lows because lower is not promised, right? Lower is not promised. That's just not good practice. What you do is you just hold and you buy more, right? You don't buy here. The difference there being that whenever I say I think the price is going lower, that means just don't buy here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Buy if you want to, buyer beware, but I think we'll have lower prices on the way. Looking at this on a daily time frame, pretty big wick on the day, 9 hours, 13 minutes left. I very much do think that we're going to come back down to this 004 area and maybe even below, but I am having a hard time at this point in time seeing us go below this low here. That announcement came in, the announcement of the announcement came in right at this low, right at a double bottom area, right at this zone where you found resistance before and support before. It's a key area, I think, and support before back here. Pretty key area. So I think that's pretty significant looking at it here. If we're zooming out, looking at this low to high on the daily time frame here, 0.5 to the 236. I mean, there's still a chance that you could go lower, and we should address that 0033 to 00309. It's still a possibility, something that we should be aware of, but maybe not heavily consider at this point in time. Or at the very least, or at the very most, I should say, don't be discouraged if and when it happens. Okay, if we go down there, it's prime buying opportunity. It's okay. This is still positive news. It still means good things for Zebec. It's cool because they've had a couple of partnerships recently that specifically with Payroll, with these large institutional providers. It's pretty cool that they're doing that, right? They're definitely setting up the infrastructure, the groundwork for better things to come in the future. But we look at the daily stochastics, you bounce off the oversold zone, not getting overbought. You're probably going to come down and actually close today red, so that might not look good. RSI still overall in a kind of neutral posturing. You can go down lower and not look terrible. The MACD here, what's nice about the MACD is you took this red cross, you actually bounced. I will say this is the most positive thing on the daily time frame. This actually looks really good and does promote the idea that we have growth to come over the days, over the weeks to come. We of course could move down over the next 2 days and it'd be fine, but this MACD crossing like this, bouncing off right here, really does make me think that we don't go lower. It really does. And the RSI overall is pretty bullish too, right? It's neutral but bullish. Getting overbought, not getting oversold. Bullish, right? Rejecting the 60, bouncing the 40. You tend to ping pong in these areas and then you'll pick a side. I'm assuming you'll pick a side to the upside here soon enough, but for the time being a little bit lower. Does that make sense? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Again, if you sold the news 2 hours ago, you're in a much better position now. I wouldn't be surprised if we dropped about 7% or more. Is it worth playing the game for 7% or more? Maybe to you. To me, it's not really. I think that it would have been worth it if you were up here, because then, if you sold, let's say you sold at this high or higher, okay? Then where I think we're going to go, that's over a 10% difference. I mean, that's 12%. That might be worth it, yeah, or more, right? But at this point in time, it's like half that, so no, I don't think so. Anyways, all in all, guys, Zebec is bullish. It's beckoning. Zebecening has begun to the upside. It absolutely is. But we're consolidating still. We still have these lower highs, higher lows. We're in this range. Finding support all the way back here at this area too. Sitting atop a massive horde of growth right here. And I very much do believe that whenever it comes time, we're going to break out one direction or the other. I'm favoring the upside here. I think it's going to happen to the upside. And when we do that, there's a couple of key fibs to monitor. High to low here. We're probably going to go above 1 cent. I would think we go all the way up to 2.5 cents and beyond, 4.4 cents. That 2618 area lines up perfectly with this 2618 area. And I personally think this is the zone to watch, man. This is it right here. That 4.5 cent to 2.5 cent area, really, I think 3 cents and beyond, of course. If you've been watching the channel for the last month, you know this, man, because we finish off the video every single time with this, talking about where it's going to go. And at this point in time, what is that? Let's see. 3 cents to 4.5 cents. I don't even need the fibs on there. It'll probably go a little bit above 3 cents too, if we're being honest. So that's about a 7x to about a 10x from here. So Zebec, even with this massive news, because the markets are being held down and a little bit bearish right now, you still have an opportunity to benefit off of this tremendously in the days and the weeks to come. With that being said, a little bit of turbulence today going into the end of the day, maybe even tomorrow as well, probably until the market settles down and Bitcoin finds its low. Whether it's a higher low or a lower low, I don't really care. Just until that happens, that'll be whenever Zebec is ready to move up and break out, I would assume. But you never know. Big things can happen. Zebec can definitely move on its own. It did back here. I remember a lot of coins were not doing this, but this thing was just kind of moving on its own. Things started to get bullish in May, but this thing was, I guess things really pumped in April 7th, didn't they? They really started to move up in April 7th. I feel like I remember, though, let me look at this here. I was going to end the video, but I said something there, and I don't want to, either I want to prove myself wrong, or I want to save my, I want to prove myself right here. Save my pride. Let's see. Because I swear it was different. Let's see. Yeah, right here. These last 3 weeks, the average altcoin, because this is the other chart, they are moving down, but Zebec kept moving up. That's right. So good. We were right on that, yeah. And then everything moved down together, whatever. But I'm just saying Zebec can move on its own time if it wants to. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.